Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zain, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. If you want to order any of my services, you can check the description box as well as the comment section for 2 links. One goes to my website where you can order my products. I have 4 different types of Ancestors money. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Malcolm X. I have Madam C.J. Walker and Dr. Martin Luther King. I also have 6 different decks that you can choose from, miniature altars, my book full of channeled messages, and my spiritual cleanse, which allows you to take your spiritual shower, spiritual cleanse anywhere, everywhere. It's full of frankincense, myrrh, Palo Santos, and sage. Very powerful to add to your spiritual toolkit. So check me out if you want to get a personal reading. I have 15-minute, 30-minute, or 1-hour sessions available to you where you can ask as many questions as you'd like. And the 30-minute sessions are on a limited time special. So check that out, y'all. Let's jump right in. We're going to start off with the Declare and Decree deck. Whatever comes out, you want to write it down on paper and burn it. Give thanks to the Most High and your spiritual team for helping you to clear your energy. So we are going to tap in and see, what do you need to focus on clearing? All past life traumas and pain inflicted upon myself or that I've inflicted upon others are now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. You can screenshot that, write it down, and burn it. All past life traumas and pain inflicted upon myself or that I've inflicted upon others are now destroyed in spirit and in flesh. So if you need to rewind that, you can go back to the 1 minute and about 38-second mark and get that written down to clear it. Past life traumas. So whatever others have done to you or whatever you might have done to others, putting it on paper and burning it, setting the intention that it is now cleared and it is no longer an obstruction. Speaking of obstructions, I had an interesting spiritual download that came today for myself, but also for the chosen collective, right? So as I was preparing the spiritual cleanse, filling up my bottles, I had an obstruction, okay? Blockage. It was not coming through. Like it was drip. And I'm like, hold on, this ain't gonna work. So I got to moving it around, shaking it up, because of course there's different oils in there. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe something has solidified and it needs to be moved around. So I'm moving it around and nothing is working. So I'm like, hold on, what is going on here? So I keep shaking it. Okay, well, maybe if I shake it this way, maybe if I shake it that way, maybe, all right, shaking wasn't working. So I talked to my spiritual team and I was like, look, whatever this obstruction is, I need y'all to help me clear it. If this is a physical or a spiritual obstruction that I am dealing with, remove it from me so they can be removed from this. All right, about 1 more minute, doing a little bit more shaking, still didn't work. So then I heard my spiritual team say, open up the top and release the pressure. Now, mind you, there's a seal at the top of this container that, keeps it from leaking. So I opened up the seal, and the moment I opened up the seal, the soap came flooding through. Like when I tell you it came through fast, I couldn't catch it fast enough. I'm like, oh my goodness. There it is. The levee broke. Okay. Whatever the obstruction was, the pressure had to be removed in order for the liquid to flow. I say that to say, many of you have cleared an obstruction. Many of you have cleared an obstruction. And if you feel like you have not, if you feel like you're still trying to gauge, well, what is blocking me, you can most certainly book a reading and we can dive deeper to see what is blocking you specifically. But I want to tap in because I feel like that's very relevant. The way that the soap came flowing through to me is symbolic of the overflow that's coming into your life as a result of you being diligent and clearing out these obstructive energies. These obstructions can be internal. It could be maybe you putting too much pressure on yourself, or you holding on to certain vices or patterns, fears, okay? And it was creating a lot of pressure that wasn't allowing things to flow for you in certain areas of your life. This could be external obstructions where there was certain people around you that was putting a whole lot of pressure on you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially, and you're being called to clear them out of your life. And in that way, you are also clearing out the obstruction, which now allows things to flow freely. And when I say freely, I'm talking about it comes in fast. It's like everything that you've been waiting for, everything that you've been hoping for, it comes in so fast that it is very apparent to you. You will not second guess it. You will not doubt it. in terms of why things are flowing freely, it's going to be clear. You're going to be able to put two and two together. Like, oh, I've removed that person and now things are flowing freely out of nowhere, like overflow. Or I removed that internal vice and now things are flowing freely. You will be very clear because your spiritual team wants you very clear about this. Now, I want to get a message from the ancestors before we jump in, because that was a message in and of itself. And it was a very important message because for me, every week, every other day, I am doing spiritual work on myself, always tapping in to see what is going on internally. That's why I've created my decks, Declare and Decree, Heal Yourself deck. You know, all of my decks have been created with the intention of understanding what's happening internally that could prevent external advancement and expansion. So you definitely want to order your decks if you are the type of person that understands alchemy, or you're wanting to understand it more. You're wanting to understand how to heal yourself, how to clear your blockages, and being able to identify them without any of the guesswork. These decks is exactly what you need for that, okay? So now, what do the ancestors want us to know? I think I'm just going to pull. So we heard your request and we are working on it. You see what I'm saying? And that's what happened when I was doing my soaps, okay? Packaging up the spiritual cleanse for you all. I spoke to my spiritual team. And I said, listen, if there's an obstruction, clear it from within me and from within this soap so I can get this thing going. I got things to do. So they heard you. They are currently working on it. You requested something. They are currently working on it. This says, we chose you to inherit the spiritual gifts and wisdom. So in some cases, that obstruction could have been to your spiritual insight. It could have been an obstruction to your spiritual gifts, an obstruction to you coming into remembrance of all of that wisdom that is inherently yours. It's in your DNA. Okay? You have been chosen to inherit these things. So in some cases, you're going to also receive more spiritual insight, more spiritual downloads. Okay? Lastly, it says, we need you to light a candle to claim your inheritance. They want you to light a candle to claim your inheritance. So you may write on a candle, maybe get you a red candle and write, I reclaim my inheritance, birthright, and sovereignty in spirit and in flesh. I reclaim my inheritance, birthright, and sovereignty in spirit and in flesh. If you need to write that down, go back to the 7-minute and 55-second mark to get that written down on your candle. Write it on a glass of your candle with a permanent mark or a red candle, reclaiming what is inherently yours. They want you to do this. And the main reason why, because some people will say, well, if my spiritual team knows that I need these things, why do they need me to take the initiative to do X, Y, Z? It's no different than it should just come naturally to you to understand that there is a collaboration that's happening here. You do your part, they do their part. They will not impede on your free will, but they will give you the guidance to cooperate, to participate in this evolutionary process. They're not just going to do it all for you, because then what's the point? If they orchestrate everything behind the scenes and do all the moving and working parts, and all you got to do is just sit there and twiddle your thumbs, there is no expansion for you. You won't begin to understand that this thing is beyond the physical experience. It's very much so spiritual, and there is a interconnectedness. There is a conversation that's happening between yourself and your spiritual team. And your energy, your frequency, your vibration plays a massive role in the 3D experience that you live out. Your energy plays a massive role. So they need you to understand why certain things are being moved around, why, you're being called to play this hand or make this move. When you understand the strategy, then you're not just haphazardly just doing stuff with no knowledge. This is how you gain wisdom, because you have an understanding of the whys, the whens, the wheres, and then you're able to apply it in the next season, as well as pass it down to your offspring or those who are inspired by you. And you're able to verbally articulate why things play out in a particular manner, because you've been paying attention. You've been the student of your life, but also working in collaboration with the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team. So let's jump right in, see what else is coming out in the message today. I'm going to pull from my IC Tarot deck. If you want to order this deck, of course, you can get it off of my website. Something big is definitely getting ready to come in for you all. For those of you who have been doing the work, okay, who have integrity and who have genuinely been invested in learning your own blockages and clearing them things out of the way. So let's see. This is the Queen of Swords. So yeah, that's the sword of truth. This is you possessing the sword of truth and making cuts where necessary, okay? I'm going to clarify the Queen of Swords. Let me see. I'm being called to use a separate deck for this, though. So this is also you setting healthy boundaries, making practical, logical decisions, but also being very investigative, taking a deeper look at what's happening around you, okay? So that you have the mental clarity as far as why you're being called to use this sword to make those cuts. So let's clarify the Queen of Swords. So it's clarified by heartache and loss and awaiting results in the reverse. That's interesting, because the heartache and loss was the obstruction. The results that you had been waiting for. Remember, I was waiting for the results of getting the soap to flow through so that I could package these soaps up for y'all, okay? The spiritual cleanse for you. The heartache and loss was a direct obstruction that was preventing you seeing the results, because awaiting results is in the reverse. This is a card of growth. This is a card of nurturing those seeds that you have planted and seeing progression. Even if it's not happening fast, there was progression that was being, that you would be able to see. You should be able to have some form of tangible evidence, whether you are seeing a shift within yourself. Okay, you're feeling better, you're looking better, you got more energy, your creativity is at an all-time high, you're more of a leader, you're taking the initiative, you're not afraid to step out of your comfort zone, you're very authentic and organic in who you are, right? Those are results. Those are real results that will lead you to other results in your external experience outside of yourself. All of those qualities, possessing those types of qualities, will welcome in it will open up all types of doors. Wealth, creativity, partnerships, healthy relationships, you name it. Those things will eventually have to be a part of your 3D experience because of who you have become. So don't get it twisted for those people that are always like, well, I don't think I'm seeing results. The first results that you will see and that you want to see are within yourself. So the heartache and loss was the obstruction. So I want to clarify and see, what is the heartache and loss pertaining to? The Queen of Cups. Okay. The Strength card in the reverse. So you know what? I feel like in the past you over nurtured people to a fault. Over nurtured people to the point where you did not receive the reciprocal energy back. And it made you feel like it was a weakness. It made you feel like, you were gullible, you were naive in a sense. If you looked back at certain things and just felt like, wow, how come that person didn't see my love? How come they didn't see my genuine nature, my compassion, my true intentions? And it might have caused you to even suppress that version of yourself that just freely loves without expectation. One thing about the spiritual journey is that you learn to master the art of detaching from outcomes. That is a very, very necessary component to growth and expansion. Detaching from outcomes, but still showing up as your organic and authentic self. Okay, not feeling like you got to constantly be on guard and, hard up and wearing this representative that's not even your true authentic self. You can't be light in your energy. No, your true nature is compassion, it's empathy. It's to just be free, loving, caring. But when you learn to detach from outcomes, then it's like, okay, I gave of myself in that particular situation. It was not returned to me, but that does not mean that it takes anything away from my greatness. It just means that that person was not either receptive or deserving. You see what I'm saying? And if that's the case, then they're bad. But it doesn't mean that you go back into feeling like, oh, I should have seen it, I should have heard it, I should have felt it. It's like, no, you did what you felt called to do in that moment, and that's what allowed you to stay light in your energy. And so because you remain light in your energy, even if that door over there did not open, another door is going to open that's even greater and even better. So you learn to look forward to that. And I feel like in some cases, the obstruction was that you had became so hard that you didn't want to give yourself permission to be too open. Queen of Swords and Queen of Cups are two totally different energies. Queen of Swords has the potential to be in a Queen of Cups energy, but she's been through so much that she's gotten to that space where she learns to just keep her guard up and put her emotions on the back end. Okay? But this is no longer the energy that you are meant to stay in, because your flow, being able to see the results, is directly connected to being able to open up your heart chakra again and to freely express yourself, detaching from outcomes, but just being in that space of love. King of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords in the upright, the King of Swords in the reverse. So in some cases, it could have been like, if you had certain unions in your life where you were surrounded by people that was just outright liars, right? They never gave you the truth, but you was always the one that put the truth on the table, but they always met you with falsehood, illusions, lies. This will make anybody hard. This will make anybody decide to put their guard up, right? So it definitely feels like past situations played a major role in this heartache and loss, which created the obstruction. But consider how deeply embedded that energy was. And there was barely anything that would allow you to see that this energy still existed within you, because it's closed in, it's barricaded. Okay, that energy of heartache and loss was suppressed so much that you barely even remembered that it was there, because you had gotten so accustomed to being in the Queen of Swords energy and protecting yourself and wearing this armor that nobody got close enough to expose this heartache and loss. So your spiritual team is also reminding you that some of these pains or this trauma that you have suppressed is also connected to your past life. Traumas that others inflicted upon you, as well as traumas that you've inflicted upon others, that needs to be cleared. And you can also look at your past life as things that happen in this lifetime, but it's still your past. And so therefore it's your past life, because you are a totally new person. You died to that version of yourself. And so it could also be talking about your past life in this lifetime in the older version of yourself. So acknowledging that. So then we have the Queen of Pentacles, okay? The Moon, the Lovers in the reverse, okay? You still stay on your throne though. You still have an overflow of wealth that is getting ready to surround you, because you have not allowed the lack of clarity to become the perfect distraction for you. If there were certain people that came into your life and there's a mystery about the situation, you're not sure where they stand and you don't know what their true intentions are, who's gonna get off their throne? You stay on your throne. You stay focused on cultivating, nurturing those things that you've been working on, and receiving your harvest, reaping your harvest, enjoying your harvest. This right here, it can remain a mystery. But one thing that won't be a mystery is the obstruction. So let's just say this is a connection. All right, let's just say it's a romantic situation. All right, only just off the strength, we got the Lovers here in the reverse, King of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords. It's kind of giving that energy, but this is not going to be the case for everybody, but I'm just using this as an example. Let's just say you ended up connecting with someone. You was very upfront, very forthright, honest. You put everything on the table, but yet this person met you with dishonesty, lack of clarity, or they just shut down on you completely. And here it is, the Moon shows that there's like, okay, so what's going on? Now you're in the dark about it. The Lovers is in a reverse. So now the connection feels off balance. There's disharmony here because you don't feel connected to this person, or like this person has detached from you. If that is the case, it could have triggered some heartache and loss, right? They could have been the catalyst to help you to highlight this thing that had been suppressed for a long time. So then you say, you know what, rather than sitting in it and being overly concerned about the whys, be concerned about the whats. What is going on within you to where this one person can come in and trigger something that will cause you to feel heartache or loss? You don't give anybody that type of power. What you do is you say, oh, this is bigger than this person. This is bigger than this person. This is something that occurred in your energy prior to them even coming around. And so they get taken off the shelf. They're the last thing that's on your mind. What you want to solely focus on is this heartache and loss, burning and releasing any heartache, loss, unforgiveness, suppressed emotions that does not serve your highest good, fear of being hurt, fear of abandonment, so many different things that would likely come to mind if this situation has triggered that type of emotion within you. So you have the tree. It says grounded, health, personal growth, past lives, evolving. See, that's what I'm saying. Even with that past life energy, it could be something that's far bigger than this person. That's why you don't give them that much attention or that much stock. It's like, okay, it is what it is. But you recognize that maybe they showed up to trigger something within you that needed to be addressed. And that's what I'm picking up strongly. And so this is showing personal growth will happen as a result of you clearing this obstruction. So consider the awaiting results came out in the reverse, but now we have this, which is showing personal growth. This is happening within you so that you can then see the physical manifestation of your rewards, fertility, growth, evolving. So then you have cufflinks. So this says well put together, personal expression, wealth, professionalism, individuality. So you are definitely leveling up. This is going to be the catalyst that levels you up. So regardless of where you stand in this, everybody is on different timelines, and it's going to be different reasons why you are redirected back to something that has been suppressed. There will be different triggers that pushes you in that direction, but you don't want to ignore them. So this says white wolf, confidence, trust your inner knowing, believe in your power, freedom, instinctual, listen to your instincts, listen to your intuition, trust your inner knowing, be confident in yourself, knowing that your inner guidance is taking you somewhere. Okay. This journey is not in vain. These experiences are not in vain. You showing someone love is most definitely not in vain. Keep your vibrations high. Love. Express. You see what I'm saying? It makes you feel good. So this says dolphins, peace, harmony, playful, humor, in tune. I'm telling you, that's where your spiritual team wants you. They want you light in your energy. They want that inner child healed. For some of you, this heartache and loss could literally be your inner child, where you had become so accustomed to protecting your energy that you was not light. Because when you wear armor all the time, this is a very heavy energy. So you might not have been light enough in your frequency to be playful and to express your creativity and things like that because of the traumas of the inner child. So let's see. You're being called to get back to your playful energy. Find your internal harmony again. Get back into that space of being able to laugh and to joke and to have fun and to dance and to sing. Like, don't let anybody come in and block you from that. This is the beehive. So this says diligence, persistence, devoted, hard work, harvest, endurance. I'm telling you, something great is getting ready to come in, and it's going to be sweet. It's going to be sweet. You're going to be very, very happy that you stayed the course and you did not allow an uncomfortable moment to cause you to feel like you got to go all the way back down into this low vibrational energy. That's not the case at all. And I can definitely see that for the majority of you, it's not going to have that type of impact. It's just a subtle thing that needs to be addressed. Residual energy that needs to be cleared out so that that obstruction is no longer. But consider, it could be pressure. It could be some sort of pressure that you're putting on yourself or that others have put on you that needs to be cleared. You got to be free in your energy. So that's the truth right there. That's the truth. That's what was the heart chakra obstruction. So for many of you, you also want to light a green candle concerning your heart chakra. You might write affirmations like, I confidently express my love. I am able to be my organic and authentic self at all times around all people. I comfortably detach from outcomes in spirit and in flesh. If you need to write that down, go back to the 25-minute and 30-second mark, somewhere around there. Okay? But write that on a green candle and you will see your material harvest. Things are going to start to flow to you as a result of clearing that heart chakra obstruction. Now you are able to magnetize and call things in because you are on the right frequency in order to call in those things that you love and that loves you back. Success. I'm trying to tell y'all what I see and what I know. Your spiritual team is working to get you to this place. If this is what you've been waiting for, especially in the area of your finances, if you've been waiting to see an overflow harvest and you feel like it has been due season, okay, there's a whole crop that's been building up that you have yet to be able to touch. And it's been season after season that you've been waiting for this. It is strictly because there was an obstruction that your spiritual team needed you to address. And so if a particular situation happened in your life or a particular person came into your life and triggered something within you that might have made you feel some heartache or some loss, or to make you feel like you had to put your guard up again and not open your heart freely, it's not supposed to play out like that. It's supposed to play out in a sense where you acknowledge that you are triggered, acknowledge that there is something there that that person was able to touch, investigate what that thing is, write it down on paper, burn it, give thanks to the Most High Mother and Father and your spiritual team for helping you to clear it and creating the opposite energy of that. You have the authority as the alchemist of your life to create the experience that your heart desires and deserves. So this is powerful. Great things are coming. Look at that. Abundance, y'all. I can't make this up. Abundance, material harvest, success, all of this coming out back to back. The levee is getting ready to break. The obstruction will be moved. No situation will be able to come in to trigger you to the point where you will not be able to access what is inherently yours. It is simply to highlight something. They have played out their role. So even if there was a particular person in your life and you're like, oh, I was showing this person love and I was being kind to this person, I was opening up my heart to this person, and they just, went ghost. Or with the moon card, it's like you stop hearing from this person. Now it's just a mystery. You don't overthink these situations. You don't allow it to bring you down. You don't allow it to distract you. If it triggered something within you, give thanks to this individual energetically. Thank you, because I was looking for the key to the next doorway that's getting ready to open up even bigger opportunities, and you handed me just that. That's what you send to that person energetically. Because in some cases, that's the only role that they was meant to play in your life. Nothing more. So you accept that and you receive that and you embrace it and you give thanks for it. Okay. With the coffin card, it could be that maybe if that situation is meant to be put to rest, bury it, let it go. Because with death, there is rebirth. And then you have the occupation. This allows you to get focused on those things that you are most passionate about. Pouring your heart and energy into these things. Mature woman, you've grown too much. Whoever you are. Mature man, mature woman, you know who you are. You're powerful. And you've lived too much. You've lived life long enough to understand that everything is not meant to be taken personally. Okay? Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Baby. Hey, okay? Monica, I might have to bump that in the car today. Don't take it personal. Main female. So we have mature woman. Then we have main female. Then we have main male. I mean, in some cases, this could be like, y'all know I have a love channel. Okay, Shavi Zane, the spiritual counselor. If you want to get love messages, you go over to my love channel. I have to update my channel, y'all. I got so much going on. I'm keeping up with everything, making room for everything. But I'm going to update that channel so that we can tap in and see what's going on. But if this is a connection and you're in the dark about something, it could very well be that there's a third party energy and you are the mature person, or it could be maybe it's an older person that's interfering. It could be somebody's mama, okay? Or somebody that's just an older female figure in their life that's trying to interfere with a main male, main female, two people that are meant to be together. Who knows? Okay. You have the distant horizons. So things are definitely getting ready to shift for you. There's going to be some sort of journey here that's taken. It could be travel, but it's also showing that there's movement happening. I have the house card. If you've been hoping for a new home or more structure within your house, your home structure, there's also going to be some sort of courtship. You might end up meeting someone new and dating someone who's on the same vibration as you. And then you also have the great fortune. So this is the fourth card that is speaking on material harvest and growth. Great things are coming in for you. Okay. Great things are coming in for you. And if there's any person, energy, fear, whatever that's obstructing these things, they are going to be moved and cleared because you will be diligent and intentional about making sure that you get to the bottom of what that thing is. And like I said, if you feel like you can't for whatever reason, but I know you can, but if you just need a little bit more guidance or clarity, definitely get your personal reading and we will tap in and see what that thing is. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.